I'm going to highlight briefly, I won't read these for you, but I do want to highlight some of the accomplishments from that original plan, because it was the direction of that plan that led us to what we believe are the 3 years of sustained excellence that we've experienced right now, as well as the community support at the ballot box that has allowed us to pass levies because of that enhanced educational excellence, or the perception of such. The original plan preceded No Child Left Behind. Our original plan preceded the rollout of state content standards, and at the point in time that we initiated the strategic plan, we were still using the language of proficiency tests in 4th and 9th grade. So that has changed over time. There are all new tests, the Ohio Achievement Test, the Ohio Graduation Test. No Child Left Behind is in the process of looking at being reauthorized. Those of you who have been following the presidential election realize it's coming under some discussion. And the content standards are here, and those K-12 content standards have been crucial documents for us. The content standards outline in every subject area in a planned rollout fashion. Started with math, went to language arts, science was added, social studies was added, technology is on the horizon, foreign language is on the horizon, and fine arts will follow in Ohio. But those are K-12 goals and objectives outlining what students need to know and ought to be able to do at every grade level. And those content standards dovetail then with the No Child Left Behind legislation, in that we now know what ought to be tested at each of those grade levels. So that was, a rationale for, or at least an underpinning of the original plan, and kind of a growth factor from there. Some of the significant accomplishments, if you will, under achieving the district rating, this was our goal, to be effective. Now, obviously, over time, we far exceeded that, and we're thrilled. Demonstrating the No Child Left Behind Act wasn't even in place, but our planning process outlined a way of looking at growth and improvement of individual groups of students. We didn't have the language of adequate yearly progress, but we knew we needed to measure individual groups of kids and not just all of our student body as a whole to make the kinds of growth that we were looking to gain. We mailed surveys to the community, and we developed a survey that we could use with our graduates, and we've been using those surveys at incremental years since the original plan, and we developed those with strategic leadership and associates so that we would be able to reuse those and have some validity and reliability in terms of comparing the results. And that's helped us when we've tried to gauge what the community level of satisfaction is with our performance. One of the things we wanted was the increased number of hits on the web page. Again, we were so far back at the beginning of this plan, we had just developed our website. All we wanted was for people to visit. And now, as of this month, in fact, the letters were in the mail I received mine this afternoon for my senior. Students who are in the middle school or the high school, parents were mailed a password and information so that they'll be able to log on and actually check their students' progress in any given class on any given day. So with the parent viewer, we have that level of access available, as well as trying to use a lot of other information. The elementary report card was newly developed, and it's in a pilot stage, so it will go through one more iteration of pilot in the fall of the 08-09 school year, and then we'll put the parent viewer in place for our elementary students next year. But of course, one of the things we were looking for were increased satisfaction, and you can't do that without increased knowledge about district priorities. So that communications piece, you can see, became just very, very critical for us all the way across. There were a lot of I don't knows on the original survey, and that outlined for us a number of, if the community says they don't know what our priorities are, that outlined for us that we had some pretty significant communication gaps, and so we've been working to eliminate those. Equally important was a transparent financial planning process, something that we could share with the community, not just at the time that we needed to look for levy money, but something that was ongoing and would update people so people had an understanding of exactly what kinds of resources it took to run the district. And we were also looking for that ability to track finances at lower levels, so we could share with the community, you know, here's how much this program costs. When we look at evaluating programs, cost is a component part of that evaluation. We wanted an integrated technology plan, and one of the things we have done in-house is audit our technology, the available of hardware computers in the district. At one point over the last several years, we've actually removed 250 very, very old tangent computers, if you will, out of the classroom, and then the board designated last year a funding stream of $250,000. So we have looked at adding labs at the elementary, and we've invested quite a bit of money in smart boards at the various buildings. So we were looking for that defined funding stream as well as technology that would match the goals and the objectives of where we were headed. We also didn't accomplish, if you will, the community census on the middle school building, the upgrades and the consensus on what to build and where to build. So as you can well imagine, that will be an underlying factor in the new plan. We also wanted a multiple-year facility and technology access plan that would allow us to identify the priorities and then fund those. We're the only district in Montgomery County that doesn't have a permanent improvements levy, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but what it does mean is that every dollar we spend on both our buildings or technology or buses comes directly out of the general fund, which is the exact same funding stream that we use for our educational priorities. So, the question is, looking to the future, is that how we want to continue funding, or, are there opportunities for us to fund things in different ways? So those were some of the questions that the Finance Committee grappled with over time.